If there is one thing that the Tekken team knows how to do, it's a damn fighting game. And you can see this in these notes. Hello there, I'm Dejan and welcome to a new video. I'm finally back to talk about Tekken 8 and, well, there is quite something to talk about it. I was planning to do another video on a different topic, but then they dropped the patch notes and I could not ignore them. So in this video we're just gonna go through the general changes that Bandai made on Tekken 8. I'm not gonna discuss any character, I'm not gonna discuss Brian or anything, because I honestly believe that every single pro player that makes specific characters is way better than me to describe the changes that have been done to characters. I'm going to watch mine anyway later. As we know, patch 105 was decided to be a more defensive buff patch. I honestly think they quite delivered and did it quite well. So let's jump into it. Most important one is that there will not be, I cannot actually highlight this, but there will not be any further balance patch for Season 1. So the Tekken we're gonna receive in the next 2 days is gonna be, I believe, the Tekken that we are gonna see at least until the Tekken World Tour Finals. I'm honestly quite happy with what I've seen. So the first thing is about a more specific categorization of parries. As we know, there are characters that they have stronger parry than the others, like Leroy's parry. Leroy parry can always counter elbows and knees, which usually are not parryable, and airborne attacks, which are not parryable as well. Well, they just clarified this difference between the others, and with like the strong parry and strong attack reversal, which are like stronger Sabaki. It's good to have this difference and everything. As at the end it goes into the details of every single character, so I'm not gonna go through that, but it's good to have it more categorized and more defined. As a general thing, is very good. Stage hazards have been toned down quite a bit. Destruction type gimmicks, so wall breaks, hard wall breaks, everything that is a break and not an explosion. They tuned down the recoverable health gauge cut you were getting after breaking a stage. Like if you were doing a long combos in the luxury mansion, the Lee Chaolan stage, and you were getting your opponent on the wall break, and you would break the wall and then you would break the balcony and bring him down there, you would basically deplete almost entirely his white health, his recoverable health. So they tuned that down of 5 points, which is good. And the second change they've done is related to the explosion gimmicks. They reduced the damage from unscale 10 to unscale 5, which at the end is still a good change in my opinion. And another change they've done, this connects back to the wall breaks and balcony breaks. I don't know why they organized them in this way, is that now they change the scaling of the damage between wall breaks and balcony breaks is in wall blast as well actually. Basically in any stage hazard that is not related to the floor, they changed the scaling of the damage of the combos and they tune it down to the 20%. When it was 90 it becomes 70, when it was 80 it becomes 60, and when it was 70 it becomes 50. Necessary? Probably yes. They're generally trying to tune down the damage that you were getting of these absurd combos, so it's fine. I honestly don't understand why they didn't do it in the floor blast, especially because the floor blast usually starts already with quite a lot of damage, especially if you started with a throw, for instance, and you just keep on going and obliterate your opponent. It's like so easy to get 60% without a hard combo. If you do a hard combo, you can probably go up to 70. Yeah, that probably, in my opinion, should have been in the list as well. Unless he's already on this kind of scaling, on that I'm not aware. But good to see a general tuning down of all the stage hazard. Very happy to see this. Rage Art has been standardized in uniform amount across. Now a little change on the Rage Art, and basically it's just simply that they standardize the amount of health that you will recover out of a Rage Art. So every character now recovers the same amount of health. This is one of the big three. And this is the one I was honestly asking myself for a long time. Why? Why does he have this much range? Why does it track everywhere? Why is it so powerful? The Hit Burst. Now, reduce the tracking ability against opponent's sidesteps. These changes allow the Hit Burst to be sidestep in situations where there is a little frame advantage between players. The appropriate direction and timing for sidestepping will vary depending on the characters used. Hit Burst is no more basically homing, but they are steppable. They are not universally straightforward, no tracking. They track probably on one side, but it depends on the character. Now, this is good, but it depends still how it gets applied. Because, simple instance, we all know Kazuya needs to be sidestep left. If his Hit Burst starts to track crazy on the left, that's gonna be a bit annoying. But at the end of the day, hey, it's way better to be able to sidestep him. Remove Reverse Break attribute. This change allows the players to counter Hit Burst with Power Crush or Parry techniques if they anticipate the attack. And unlike regular Power Crush, Hit Burst does not power up when intercept an opponent's attack. Yeah, so the tune down is super Power Crush ability of being able to just go through everything. Now it's basically gonna be treated like a normal Power Crush. I still very curious to see if they left the little animation. I'm honestly kind of neutral on that. I would agree on having it or as much as not having it. It would make the gameplay a bit more fluent. Yet another nerf on the Hit Burst. Hit Burst strike damage can no longer cause a KO. Now this is something I didn't think about, but as soon as I read it in my mind I was like, wow, that's so correct actually. This change was made because its ability to suppress opponent action was too high when the opponent's health was low. And it's so true. How many times you were getting with your opponent with like 10 HP not even left, and you just need to wait there. You just need to wait. He eventually has to come into, and you just press one button and he's dead. That was something too strong. That's something that actually I'm very happy to see. I never realized that firsthand, like thinking about that, but it's actually good that he's gone. It makes the feeling of being hopeless after you got comboed twice and you just have like 1 HP left a bit less daunting. It makes it feel like, okay, I have a shot now. Because if your opponent has still a Hit Burst available, it's like, he's gonna get me. Reduce the distance of the opponent on it and change the opponent behavior on block, reducing the distance to the opponent. So it leaves you closer, it doesn't just push you away. Hit Dash, the second big hitter of this patch. Collision detection for the opponent at the wall has been all this behavior stuff. When an attack hits and the hit dash is performed with a wall on the opponent's right side, there were cases where it became difficult to follow up the attack. This being okay, Tekken being taken a bit less. Now, balance on the hit dash. Change the opponent's behavior on block when hit dash is activated, removing the effect that induces wall stacker. So this is huge, guys. This adjustment was made considering that it was a significant factor in facilitating unnatural attacks. And this is so true. This is so true. You have your opponent that is maybe, let's say he has 60% of his health. Then he does a big whiff, or you get a hard read and you launch him. You combo him, you hit burst, bring him to the wall, and you do a wall combo. Now he is down, you don't even have to think, just hit dash into him and create another mix-up. And that's something that, well, I cannot even remember how many times I've done with Fang. With Fang it was just such a no-brainer. You stand up, okay, shoulder. It's just so simple. I mean, why don't I can just do it and then I can mix you twice. And I'm not even gonna talk about the amount of cheat damage you do. It's just that yes, you are basically one touch to be dead. I'll just keep on mixing you. If I can force mix-ups into you, I'll just keep on doing it. Especially if they are this kind of heavy mix-up, like an hit dash on the wall. So, very good to see that going. Other effect where activating hit dash recovers 6 of the recoverable gauge on attack and 3 on block. These allow for more advantageous situation when activated with a substantial amount of recoverable gauge remaining. It recovers a bit more life. Good. Knockdown behavior induced by hit dash following only for attacks. Okay, then they changed the behavior of some of the attacks on hit dash and they basically no longer launchers. They just give you the guaranteed follow-up. Throws. Now we are all very happy with the homing throws. Let's see what they've done. In V105, to reassess the role of various throws, the following changes have been made. 1. Normal throws are now treated as homing attacks. Their tracking performance remains unchanged from version 104. Okay. The tracking performance of command throws is being reduced. This change introduces the possibility of sidestepping to avoid command throws. The following command throws are exception and will be treated as homing attacks, making them track sidesteps. And just to be clear, when I first read these and then I look at the list and I see that there are 2 Dragonos, 1 Warang, and then it's only King apart for 3 more throws where are Paul, Rain and Steve at the end, I was like, oh no. So basically no one tracks anymore with the throws, apart for King, which still can do all the things he wants. But I was wrong. If you go through the list, you will notice that there is no Shining Wizard and there is no Giant's Wing. So these are just specific throws that they left. Like if you look at Dragonov's one, is all throws that he uses after he applies pressure on you. Okay, like his 1-3-2 into throw, okay, which is like a mix-up basically. And if you remove the tracking on that, like especially on the sequence one, you can just sidestep and basically you have the sidestep that beats all the options. So leaving the homing ability to this specific case is actually good. It looks like they put thought into what they were doing, not just cancelling everything, which is very good. On key throws, because I don't know them, I can just say that I hope they are the right one to be homing. But I'm very happy to not see Shiny Wizard and Giant's Wing. And yeah, the rest is more generic things that they're not necessary to mention in this video, as these were the most important things that, in my opinion, need to be shared with everyone. Let me know, by the way, what is the change that you think is the most important. So, what's my take, what's my opinion in these changes? Just to be clear, I haven't read all the characters adjustment yet. I went through Brian ones only, but only speaking about the generic one, as I always said, if there is one thing that the Tekken team knows how to do, it's a damn fighting game. And you can see this in these notes. You can really see that there is a lot of work and a lot of process, and they are well aware of what it takes to make a fighting game. It's not making a sculpture and having it finished straight. It's more about starting with something very raw that you first put into shape when you release it, and then you smooth the edges slowly with tries, with studying, and with understanding. And this is definitely what looks from not only from this patch, but from all the other patches and adjustments that we have seen throughout the months. So Tekken 8 is looking great. Yes, and I was sure that it would have looked great eventually. Because, especially in fighting games, these are not games that you can just release and they're ready to go. These games take time and a lot of data analysis to get to the right spot. And I'm honestly think that this is gonna be the closest Tekken 8 is gonna be to his right spot for a long time. I'm very happy. I'm just very happy. I can just enjoy for this game. I can just be happy. I really cannot wait to jump back into the game and start to play some ranked again. Anyway, thank you for watching till the end. If you like this video, please consider to like, subscribe, and all the rest. It very supports the channel. I recently achieved 200 subscribers. I'm just super happy with that. My holiday is basically over, which means I'm gonna be more constant with delivering content again. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!